What do you think that means?
Pressure control.
Okay. SIMV would be the mode where you've got mandated breaths and spontaneous breaths. But the mandated breath
Is now
will
pressure
be a
control.
pressure control breath. SIMV PC. It's typically what neonates are ventilated with. And then the last one, SIMV PRVC.
No, it's just the whole conversation.
Yeah, so you have mandated and spontaneous breaths because it's SIMV mode, but the mandated breath will be a PRVC breath.
Is that the most common?
Yes, PRVC and then SIMV PRVC. So when you have just PRVC mode, like I described to you, do we have the answers for that? Okay. All right, so we talked about assist control mode being that volume mode of ventilation. It's volume cycled, it's flow limited. That same mode of ventilation is called ACVC. So when you're looking on some of the ventilators, when you're reading in your textbook, instead of them just calling it assist control mode, you'll see ACVC. AC, assist control, tells you that it's a full support mode. VC tells you that the mandated breaths are volume control. Then we talked about SIMV, but when you read about it in the books and you see it on the ventilators, it'll say SIMV and the mandated breaths VC. So either one of these are the same. In the hospital, it's kind of like 50-50. Some therapists will just say SIMV mode. Some will say SIMV VC. Pressure control mode, we talked about every breath being pressure limited, time cycled. Volumes will vary. And when you write that with different nomenclature, you would say AC, meaning it's full support. Every breath is a mandated breath. And then the second part, PC, tells you what type of mandated breath will be delivered. And then PRVC would be written as AC, meaning that it's full support. All the breaths will be mandated breaths, and the mandated breaths will be PRVC breaths where inspiratory pressure could vary depending on the tidal volume. I have a worksheet for you for next week. So we'll practice with this, we'll practice with the modes of ventilation and all the different settings. We have 5 minutes, but I know your minds are full. Let's see.
You know us very well.
Yeah. All right, we'll start next week with where we left off.